to Assen in the Netherlands for the final race of the final round of the 2015 EMX250 European Motocross Championship. We're live on MXGPTV.com. Before we arrived here, Nick Keuwenberg of the Netherlands on the JTEC Honda had a 33-point advantage over the Wilvo fourth-ranked KTM of the Brit Adam Sterry, with Damon Growlis in third, just 8 points further adrift. But after race one yesterday, Nick Keuwenberg was crowned 250 European champion in front of his home fans. He'll be looking to go out and win the second race today. And we have a great crowd here at this TT circuit of Assen. Some 25,000 cubic meters of sand have been dropped on the circuit here. Road racers might think that's sacrilege, but to us, it's a racetrack made out of sand. It's going to be very, very tough. We're right up there in the north of the country, and it will be a test for the riders around this 1,520-meter long circuit. It's deep, it's gnarly, it's unpredictable. But it's more like beach sand as well. It's white, it holds the water on the top rather than soaks in like a Lommel or a Lierop, for instance. It's quite slippery as well, but as the race day went on yesterday, the riders actually taking quite a liking to the circuit. But then it depends who you talk to. Some riders were saying it was one line, but then try telling that to the guys who came from the back and found their way inside the top 10, for instance. But for the guys who started in fifth and maybe even finished fifth, or maybe just made one pass, they will have a slightly different opinion of the track. But Lee Van Dam, the CEO of the MXGP of Assen here this weekend, and his team, doing a great job. It's taken some, what, four and a half days, pretty much working around the clock to build this spectacular circuit. Okay, it's a little bit short in its lap time, but as it roughens up and becomes more technical, you can expect to add a few seconds onto the time at the end of the day. But more than 1,500 meters long, similar length to most circuits, but just gives you an idea how we have crammed this in. But the riders would normally come under that bridge in the background on the MotoGP circuit, but we're utilizing that start straight and the pit lane. The riders making their way out onto the sighting lap. There is Nick Keuwenberg, the new EMX250 European champion, the JTEC Honda rider from the Netherlands. He should be greeted by a wall of noise on this sighting lap and also at the start of the race as well. Maxime Dupre going through there, look. VIP areas, the hospitality areas all full this weekend. Great vantage point from up there on top. Myself and other members of the media found that a good place to watch yesterday, because you can see both sides of the circuit, because everything that happens down this side, those fans up there in the grandstands obviously get to see quite a lot of the track. They've got huge screens as well erected so that they can see what's going on behind the paddock buildings. But this part of the racetrack here, this is turn 8. But Nick Keuwenberg, though, was crowned European champion yesterday. And this is how he did it. Hasn't taken a race win, but he's been solid all year. Third and fourth in Italy, 2 seconds in Europe. At the European round, of course, a third and a sixth in Spain, 2 sixth-place finishes, a fourth and a seventh in Germany, fourth and second in Sweden, third and fifth in Latvia, fifth and eighth. And yesterday, he was third in race one. Nick Keuwenberg is the 2015 European champion. Spoke to him just a few moments ago before we came back on air. He was in bed by 9:30. He said it's been a long month, actually, because the time between Belgium and here, around about that time, obviously that was the previous round, but just saying that it was quite tough just because of the time between the rounds, focusing on the fact that he was leading the championship. Every time he went out riding, be careful just to put the time in, not do anything silly. So it was always kind of on his mind, because when he arrived here at the start of the weekend, Nick Keuwenberg, his gap wasn't that big over Adam Sterry. 33 points, but it's still mathematically possible. But because Adam Sterry finished behind him in race 1 yesterday, that was all that mattered to Nick Keuenberg, Gabriele Rinaldi, and everybody down there at JTech Honda. They've only been around about 4 years in terms of riding the European Championship, so success coming early for the JTech Honda squad, based close to Parma in Italy. Well, race 1 was won by Damon Growlers. We are running just a few minutes behind schedule here. Jens Getterman fell in the wave section towards the end of the MX2 warm-up this morning and just needed medical assistance and was stretchered off. And so as a result, the MXGP warm-up was delayed slightly, and as a result of that, so too the start of this first European Championship race should have started at 12 o'clock. It's already 12:01 and 30 seconds now, according to our clocks on our monitors. But Damon Growlers was the winner in race 1. He started around about 3rd or 4th. Held a good pace there for the first 5 laps. 4 laps later, he was in 2nd and challenging for the lead. And he found his way past the fast-starting Freddie van der Vlist on the Kawasaki, who eventually fell to 4. So Growlers was your winner. Maxime Dupre, there is the 171 of Damon Growlers, the Kimiya Yamaha Yamalube rider. Alongside him, David Herbetot, the young French kid. He was fast yesterday, made good work through the field, did David Herbetot, but then his bike expired on him in the closing stages of the race after making a poor start. Got himself up in the top 15 before the halfway mark, but just ran out of luck. But it was Growlers from Dupre and Keuenberg, Van der Vlist, Osland, Engeland, Lars van Berkel, Michael Hull, Adam Sterry, who crashed 3 times. Again, managed to grab a quick word with him. Just riding with a slight niggle in his back, he said. It's just painful when he comes to really rough tracks, and he struggled with it a little bit yesterday, but we'll just see how it goes on today. But he started in 8th, got up to 7th, fell down to 10th, and then basically little couple more mistakes here and there as we look at Maxime Dupre. Sterry eventually coming home in 9th. And in terms of the championship, though, Adam Sterry now has fallen to 3rd behind Damon Growlers. Of course, Sterry finished 3rd in the championship last year behind Stevie Clark and Brian Borgers. So Keuenberg already champion on 304. Damon Growlers 268. 5 points further behind is Adam Sterry. And on 257 is Maxime Dupre. Of course, Dupre coming home in 2nd to Adam Sterry's 9th. So Adam Sterry in danger of finishing off the podium in this year's European Championship campaign if he's not careful. Just 6 points clear of the Kawasaki rider. Alvin Osland can't do anything there, so he will be guaranteed at least 5th in the championship. Brian Sue, 6th. Didn't arrive here this weekend, of course, nursing a slight wrist and arm injury after his crash at the start of race 2, the MX2 race in Mantova 1 week ago. Thomas Kjær-Olsen is 7th in the championship, and de Valentin, Simone Zakina, and Stevie Clark hasn't contested the last couple of rounds anyway, in 10th. But the riders making their way from their waiting zone to the start gate. Fastest lap in the race yesterday, incidentally, was Nick Keuenberg on lap 2 with a 140.3, and compare that to the times of earlier on in the day where they had time practice, 130.043 for Frederik van den Vlist. So 10 seconds the lap had changed over the course of the day for the European 250 Championship riders. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times the boys are turning in this time around. But for Nick Keuenberg, though, who was crowned European champion yesterday, he will go to the line in 5th position on that JTech Honda. Adam Sterry 4th, Growlers, Herbetot. Impressive time for David Herbetot, actually. Bas Bassen was riding good yesterday, but then he eventually fell by the wayside. Was turning in some pretty decent laps as well, but Nick Keuenberg, though, 2 visits to the podium this year. 2nd overall at the Valkenswaard round, 2nd overall in Sweden. Been 4th every other time, apart from 5th overall in Great Britain, so he's been very, very consistent. Adam Sterry, meanwhile, 2 overall round wins, and there is your European champion. Certainly a little bit more relaxed now as he goes into this final race of the year. But there's still a lot of laps to do. 25 minutes plus 2. Race 1 yesterday, it was a 16-lapper. So expect a similar amount of laps as Damon Growlers tries to fire up his Yamaha Yamalube machine. 128 alongside him, Sven van der Meerden. There's James Cottrell on the Hitachi Revo KTM. James Cottrell not picking up points yesterday. The Tag Heuer 15-second board has gone up though. And we are getting ready to go racing once again. David Herbertot, the 338. Alongside him on the HF Racing Kawasaki, Nick Kernberg gets himself on. He was a little bit off balance there, was David Herbertot, but doesn't stop him from pulling a decent gap as he goes down into turn 1, and it's Herbertot who grabs the whole shot here. Where's Kernberg? Kernberg would like to stay upright through the first few corners. And Kernberg, well, look at the Kawasaki's in there. 3 Kawasaki's, Lars van Berkel and Freddie van der Vliet. Sterry in there in 4th place. Oh, Kernberg goes out at turn 1. So just what the European champion didn't want. Well, he's got nothing to lose, so maybe we'll see him turning in some decent laps, and it might even be one of his best races of his career. Kernberg up the inside, just buried the front look and straightened up, had nowhere to go. And then eventually stalled the engine. Robert Davidson right at the back there, 114 on the Husqvarna. But working the way towards turn 9 then, and it's David Herbertot leads the way. The 107, Lars van Berkel second. Freddie van der Vliet was fast yesterday for much of the race before fading back to 4th place. Then we've got Sterry, then Dupre there, then 161, Alvin Osland on the Yamaha just behind them in 6th position. But Lars van Berkel looking to get his head down early. Came home in 7th yesterday. Only started inside the top 10, so a rider who's already had an overall round win this year, just running a little bit too wide. Freddie van der Vliet looking around the outside. What a great photo opportunity that is for your Kawasaki fans, as Herbertot almost buries the front end through the final corner on the run towards the finish line. Down back along the start straight, and van der Vliet has taken the lead. See how soft the first corner is already. Herbertot messing around with the goggles already. Tough rhythm section through here. It goes wider the further out you go between the holes. Right, that's Kernberg, 6:44. He is behind the number 7 of Bergersen. So right at the back, but he's got the pack right ahead of him. Oh, and the rider goes down. Well avoided there. And that rider down might be Christian Masling. Is it 39? Yes, it is. So back with the leaders then. And Freddie van der Vliet already checking out at the head of the field. Oh, Lars van Berkel was just a little bit offline there in the background, cost him some time, and that's played right into the hands of Adam Sterry, who gets better drive as he comes back into view here over that short Monster Energy jump. Van Berkel was quick through here last time around, but Sterry's got the commanding line going into the next left-hander. So Sterry already riding a little bit better than he was yesterday. So Herbertot is down to second. Van der Vliet is up to the first. Sterry now third. Van Berkel fourth. Dupre, Osland, Valentin, Vassen is eighth. Michele Chervelin is ninth. And Simone Zecchina, here's a rider that's gone missing because Thomas Kier Olsen has found his way into 10th. Growlers is in 11th place. Schleicher has fallen from 13th and still falling as well. James Dunn, though, up to 14th place on the Hitachi Revo KTM. So a good start for James Dunn this time around. James Dunn picking up 18th in race 1 yesterday. But the fastest rider on track, clearly, and already got a 4.5 second advantage over this guy here. Here's Freddie van der Vliet, so the number 88 of van der Vliet. As I say, just trying to do that disappearing act like he attempted yesterday. There's Herbertot. Back in the European 250 Championship. And of course, for France, he opted to ride the 250 in the MX2 category. And we thought he was going to do a Davy Pooches and stay there, but he's just back from injury and makes sense for him to be here. This is probably his level at the moment. That's not being disrespectful, but sometimes these guys go from European 250 straight up into MX2 and go, oh, you know what, I had a top 10 ride, that's where I need to be. And actually, it's the smokescreen element, you know, where they just get themselves led into a false sense of security and biting off a little bit more they can chew. Prove yourself in this class first and then go up. No doubt about it, this kid is a star of the future, David Herberto. Sterry right there behind him, though. Lars van Berkel being dropped in the background in 4th place. No change, no movement. Dupre still 5th, Osland still 6th. But you see how physically demanding, how challenging this circuit is. This was a completely flat track on Friday when we arrived, and Sterry dives down the inside, taking no prisoners this time around, because he knows as well he needs to stay ahead of Maxime Dupre and Damon Growlers in the championship chase. And Growlers up into 11th now. Watch how far back he was here. Well executed, Adam Sterry. Took the inside. There was a slight mistake there from Herberto. Realised he couldn't get across. Sterry, though, didn't back out of that challenge. He's now up in the 2nd place. Sterry, though, just a moment ago, getting out of shape. That'll be no good for the sore back, that's for sure. Does he hold on for 2nd? Yes, he does. So just getting a little bit loose. Adam Sterry on that Wilvo 4-rank KTM. A heavy landing there as well in the deep, deep sand. Very much beach-like sand here. Very, very heavy. And I think David Herberto, yeah, coming under attack. I thought Lars van Berkel had found his way through. Look at Dupre in the background. Look at Alvin Osland on the Yamaha. So in terms of the championship, Adam Sterry on 285, Growlers on 278, 7 points separating those guys, and another 5 points further back, Maxime Dupre. So the battle for 2nd overall in the European 250 Championship is still very much on. Here is Damon Growlers. He's now been pushed back to 3rd in the overall points classification. So the Kimiya Yamaha Yamalube rider, he knows he's got plenty of time, 18.5 minutes plus 2 laps. And he's already there in 11th, and he's got guys ahead of him right in his line of sight. Here's another look at the start. And the Kawasaki of David Herberto quickly out of the blocks. But look at 6:44 there on the right-hand side. Nick Kuenberg is going to be tucked right into the inside. Just towards the right of your screen now. Lost the front, the back came around. And just straightened up, had nowhere to go, stalled the engine, and the European champion is fighting his way through. So Lars van Berkel has found his way past David Herberto then, and got himself into 3rd. And Maxime Dupre looking for a way through as well. So Dupre, 141 on the Bud Racing Monster Energy Kawasaki, trying to find his way back onto the rear wheel of the two HNHF riders. This one here, 338, David Herberto. And Lars van Berkel just ahead of him. Dupre rode pretty impressive yesterday, actually, has to be said, finishing in 2nd position. So no guesses as to what he's been doing for the last month or so. Just riding, turning in the laps in the deep sand. No doubt at Lierop, no doubt at Lommel. Honda Park possibly as well in Belgium. Oh, mistake there from Herberto, goes wide. Loses vital drive, and the momentum in the favour of Maxime Dupre, who will get the run into this right-hander. But Herberto trying to keep it in there. Look, just running out of room though. And Dupre had it by a bike length as he went into that left. These guys will know they've done a Grand Prix. The toughest 2 rounds on the calendar, it turns out then, Lommel and here. The conclusion of this European 250 Championship, but here's Kuenberg here. He's still making his way through traffic. He's just on the fringe of the points at the moment. In fact, he might have even got himself into the points. We'll have to wait and see, because he's got a whole gaggle of riders there. There's a 430, Valtteri Malin from Finland. So definitely getting in the points now, Nick Kuenberg on that JTEC Honda. Of course, he would love to finish on the podium this weekend. There's still plenty of time for him to get up the points and possibly do that, but it's looking more and more difficult for him to do so. He's on 20, he needs to find 15 points at least to get himself on the podium. hanging off the back of that bike, and he's up into 19th now. He's got Rennie de Jong just ahead of him, the 130 in yellow and blue. Looking to go around the outside just to carry that momentum. Jump into the wave section because you can jump in and then double your way through, but not able to use that line effectively. Back here with Dupre and Lars van Berkel. So Van der Vlist, Sterry, Lars van Berkel, Dupre and Herberto, now your top 5, and Dupre going after the 107 of Lars van Berkel, who hasn't been effective through here today. But that time it seemed to work out for him. Took the wide route and then shortened it up a little bit. Dupre getting creative with the lines, going in out early. Looking for the smoother lines, looking for the traction, but it's also very, very slippery when you do that. Up on the pegs and easily through then for Dupre, but Lars van Berkel won't let him have it easily. Got no choice though. Was just a little bit too hesitant around that corner, and Dupre now up into 3rd place. Van Berkel being pushed down to 4th in yellow. But a Kawasaki leads a KTM, and then we've got Kawasaki's 3rd, 4th and 5th in the form of this guy here, Maxime Dupre, lead rider in shot, the 107 of Lars van Berkel, the 338 of Herberto in 5th, and there is Alvin Osland. So Austin now in 6th, and the Valentin on the Alzio Yamaha Yamalube rider. He's at 7th. Bas Vassen on the Rockstar Energy Suzuki Europe machine is in 8th, just behind them. And then Thomas Kjær Olsen and Michele Chervelin rounding out the top 10. Growler still in 11th place, making no inroads. There he is, just on the background in the Monster on the Monster Energy jump. But we'll keep an eye on Nick Keurenberg as well, because he was 19th at the end of lap 5. There's Herberto here, just disappearing out of shot, being caught by Alvin Osland. There is Bas Vassen. Had a crash at Lommel, had a crash, and it goes down again. Remember, he had that crash in Latvia. So just riding, well, he was just unlucky there. Just got a bounce. Let's look at that again. Bas Vassen. Yeah, the front got a little high on him and then buried itself in the sand. Tried to keep the engine running. He probably did as well. But that's Bas Vassen going out of 8th. So Vassen then needs to get his head down, refocus. Dancing around on that bike. There's Simone Sakina just behind him now in 12th place, and number 12 from 125 European champion, of course. And there's Growlers. Where is Growlers now in the race? He's 9th. He's got Thomas Kjær Olsen just ahead of him. Right there, in fact, number 61 on the Bodo Schmidt Motorsport KTM. Thomas Kjær Olsen 6th in the standings on 195. 15 points clear of Ander Valentin. Valentin ahead of him only by 1 position, though. But we need to keep an eye on this guy, Damon Growlers on the Kimiya Yamaha. See how heavy it is where they land. We've had 125, 250, 150 European Championship action here. We've had the Vets World Cup yesterday, which again won by Mats Nilsson of Sweden for the 4th time on a Yamaha. Darrell King 2nd. And 3rd went to Klaus Hofstetter. The defending champion, Martin Zareva, fell in turn 1 and made it difficult for himself, even though he was a winner in race 2. But Growlers looking to get drive around the outside here and find his way, neatly passing Thomas Kjær Olsen. Kjær Olsen had to back out of that challenge then, but you can see the difference in the riding styles there. Look how effective that was there from Damon Growlers, doubling his way in, landing on the downside of one of those holes through that corner. Oh, and we've got a rider down out of shot there. Just wondering whether that was Ander Valentin. Certainly had the red and blue of the Spaniard. Yeah, it was. So Ander Valentin then, just to the outside, falling from 7th place on the Alzio Yamaha Yamalube. And he's now got to try and get himself back on his feet and find that rhythm again, because that's always a difficult thing in the sand. You make a mistake, So Van der Vlis leads, Sterry second, 3 seconds adrift, and was quicker that time around by about 0.3 of a second. Maxim Dupre is third, 10 seconds further back. Lars van Berkel is in fourth place. David Herbertro here, 3:38 is fifth. Alvin Austin on the blue Mafia Yamaha is in sixth. Damon Growlers now in seventh, 3 seconds behind Osland. Thomas Kjær Olsen is 8, Chervelin 9, Bas Bassen is 10, Zakina 11, and Ander Valentin was 12th when he came over the line, but might take him a lap or two just to regain his composure and find his rhythm again. In fact, Max Engelen has already gone through. Here's Nick Kuenberg on the red Honda, the J-Tech rider, behind the number 78 of Rui van Houten. So he's in 18th position. Oh, neatly done there. Right, Adam Sterry has lost second. Coming out of turn 8 into turn 9, obviously got it wrong, and Dupre has gone through. So suddenly that will tighten things up a little bit for him, because he can't afford to lose too many more positions, Adam Sterry. There's Chervelin, 7:47. So the lead rider in shot now on the Martin Racing Junior team machine, announced as one of 3 young riders in the 2015 Monster Energy Motocross of Nations last night. Thomas Traversini, the team manager for Team Italy, and is that the 128? I think it is. So that's Sven van der Meerden on his Husqvarna. Dupre going through. Sven van der Meerden was down in 34th place after a difficult start. So Dupre, 10.3 seconds down on Van der Vlis then. So jumping up into the grandstands over on the far side of the circuit, and this will be good enough for Dupre to pick up the overall round win. 3 of those he has already this year. Win at the opening round at Pietra Marata, win in Spain at Talavera, and also again in Uddevalla in Sweden. But hasn't had the consistency of the newly crowned yesterday European champion Nick Kuenberg. Just goes to show, doesn't it? You know, if you can wrap it up in the first race, get it wrapped up early. Exactly what he did. Finished ahead of Adam Sterry, his closest rival at that time. Had it have gone to the final race, then we'd have been looking at a different scenario, because obviously Kuenberg stalling at turn 1 and now buried in 18th position. But would it also have been different? Had he not been crowned European champion, would we see Kuenberg pushing on and maybe even find himself higher up the leaderboard? Difficult to say at this stage of the race with 8 minutes plus 2 laps to go, because Kuenberg is champion. There's Growlers, and he's got the 161 of Alvin Osland just ahead of him, and the 3:38 of David Herberto. So Growlers looking at picking up 5th over the next couple of laps or so, because his lap times, Damon Growlers 1:43.7 compared to the 1:43.9, 1:40. So actually not too much in it in terms of the lap times between Herberto, Osland and Growlers on that occasion. Good to see the Dutch fans and other fans from all over Europe coming out to support this race here at Assen. Good to see the grandstands filled here, because they hold a lot of people. And everybody you speak to, that was their concern that we have as Osland goes wide in the background there. Was he pushed wide there by Growlers, or was it just a self-inflicted mistake? But everybody you talked to, they were concerned that the grandstands would remain empty and it would be an atmosphere, or a race without atmosphere, but it's anything but that here this weekend at Assen. So Growlers then. Right, top of your screen. Oh, just ran it wide and had nowhere to go as Growlers ran himself right into the side of Alvin Osland. Growlers not even looking back. Gets himself into 6th. Herberto just ahead of him on that green HF Kawasaki, the young French kid. Growlers holding a slightly tighter line on that Khmer Yamaha Yamalu machine. So after 10 laps, This is how the top 10 look. Freddie van der Vlist still leading the way, 7.8 seconds clear of Maxim Dupre. What is a Kawasaki 1-2? Adam Sterry 3 seconds further back in third. Lars van Berkel is fourth. David Herbertrop fifth. Growlers in sixth place as we pick up our race leader, number 88, Freddie van der Vlist. Seventh is Alvin Osland, 8, Thomas Kjær-Olsen, Bas Bassen is 9, and Michele Chervelin is 10. And just behind them, Max Engeland, Simone Zakina, Ander Valentin, James Dunn now 14th, Joel van Mechelen is 15, René de Jong 16, Roy van Houten 17, Yuri Havisto is 18, Nick Keuenberg has been pushed to 19th, so a mistake from Keuenberg. And then Robin Bacon's 20th, as we look at the number 32 there of Jarno Dirks of the Netherlands on his Yamaha, facing in the opposite direction, so obviously catching a hole and spinning in 180 degrees on the face of that crest. You know what? Brian Borgers did something similar yesterday in MX2 time training. Freddie van der Vlist hasn't had the best of seasons this year. Had to miss the round in Germany through injury. Didn't get off to a great start either. 18th in the first race of the year. Didn't score in the next two races. 13th in the second moto in the Netherlands. 17th, 14th, 16th. His highest finish was at a 5th in the second race in Lommel. Up until yesterday, where he was 4th. So a 4th and a win will get him 2nd overall, behind this guy here on the Kawasaki coming towards us on the 141, Maxim Dupre. But Adam Sterry right back in it again, and that will change the podium should the Brit on the KTM on the Wilvo Fort Brent machine go through on the guy ahead of him on that green Kawasaki. So Dupre suddenly under attack here, as Adam Sterry has definitely got that second wind about him. But ground, and also, I tell you what, this is tight in the championship as well, because Keuenberg obviously already champion, as Sterry goes offline a little bit. Growlers has got himself up into 2nd place in the overall classification on 2.84. Adam Sterry is on 2.83. He needs to find his way past 141 Maxim Dupre to pick off 2 more points to go 1 point clear of Growlers. But Growlers is on the charge as well. He's got Lars van Berkel in his sights. And then 3 or 4 seconds further up. So it's going to be very, very tight. Look at that. Keuenberg 3.06, Growlers 2.84, Sterry 2.83, who makes another mistake. Wade Jello's over there. Man down. Is it 110? Alexi Verhaeg, maybe? Anyway, look, 2:45 on the clock. And Adam Sterry will know, the mechanics would have put the board out to say, you must pass Dupre, but he probably knows that as well. There's Thomas Schleika being lapped on that 131. He's in 27th position. But Growlers here, look, on the left-hand side, going past Lars van Berkel. This will make Adam Sterry's job even more difficult, because even if he finds his way past Dupre, Growlers will be picking up another point here. 2 more points, in fact, because 18 for 4th, 16 for 5th as it stands at the moment. So needs to find his way through. Does Adam Sterry? But even if he does, if both riders make that pass, if Growlers finds his way past Lars van Berkel and Sterry finds his way past Dupre, that still won't make any difference. Growlers will still be 2nd overall in the classification and goes hard down the inside, just like he did with Alvin Osland. But Lars van Berkel not backing off here. And the Dutch against the Belgian, and he goes straight on, does it? Wow, he did well to get that turned, did Damon Growlers. He can't win the championship, he knows that, but 2nd, well, that will mean a lot to him, won't it? Clearly does, because the way he was forceful down the inside of Lars van Berkel. Watch this. Right at the beginning of the straight, he went down the inside, forced the initiative, got it turned, but Van Berkel was already on the gas. They almost touched heading down the straight. Bit of a kick there. I wonder if that would have made a difference to Lars van Berkel in terms of just getting across. But look at this. Has to jump a little bit longer. He's landing in all the braking bumps, Damon Growlers. But he gets it done right at the end of the straight. and moves into fourth. So Dupre losing ground, gaining ground on Adam Sterry. So Sterry just here on the left, getting ready to go around a back marker who will just hold him up, I think. 7-11, James Cottrell on the Hitachi Revo KTM, outside of the points in 26th place and losing a position or two that time around. James Cottrell. But it's Van der Vlist still leads, but that gap is coming down all the time. 4.8 seconds now, Maxime Dupre. Dupre is your overall round winner as it stands at the moment on 44 points. Second yesterday, second today. Van der Vlist, a fourth and a win will get him on 43, and Growlers on 43 at the moment on a win and a fourth. And Adam Sterry won't feature on a podium on 32 points. But here is Freddie Van der Vlist in the middle, number 88 in red. The fifth and Lommel, a fourth yesterday. A win here today will get him on the podium. And I'm guessing that will improve his chances in the championship as well. But there's Maxime Dupre. So Van der Vlist, 15th at the start of the weekend, who will move himself up to 10th in the overall standings. Edging out Lars van Berkel, actually, the 107 by a point. 67, mainly Klingsheim being lapped. Just goes to show how tough this circuit is here at Assen. Klingsheim outside of the points in 24th place. There's Simone Fallotti just ahead of him as well, number 95. Sterry back on the rear wheel of 141, and he's got Growlers there as well, so this is really going to be a straight-up shootout then for second in the championship. So Dupre, fans really getting behind, or the Belgian fans really getting behind Damon Growlers. A great atmosphere out on track as Dupre gets bounced around from one side of the track to the other on that green Kawasaki. Doesn't quite get the drive. Sterry right there, 8-11, and Growlers down the inside. So Growlers just getting his head down and going after Maxime Dupre, taking absolutely no prisoners here. Going to go around the outside, get that momentum going. Dupre probably thinks it's Sterry right there. Not expecting Growlers to charge around the outside, and he gets held up by a back marker. And this is also for the overall, because Growlers all of a sudden taking two riders in one lap will put himself on the top step of the podium, because a win and a second will be better than 2 seconds. And is that Freddie Van der Vlist right ahead of him? It is. What a lap Damon Growlers has had. He's gone from fourth to second, and he's got the leader in his sights as we start the final lap. What a race, what a performance from Damon Growlers. No wonder the fans are up on their feet in the grandstand. He's already on the top step of the podium, but he wants to seal the deal with a race win here. Oh, and offline there is Freddie Van der Vlist, and Growlers jumps into the lead. The crowd are up there in the grandstands. Great display of racing here from Damon Growlers. Let's have a look again at how Growlers did it. Got good drive, but the mistake over on the right-hand side from Freddie Van der Vlist. Landed in the soft stuff, didn't get the drive, but watch this here. Commitment, single, and then doubles his way in, compresses the suspension, gave Van der Vlist absolutely nowhere to go. And Growlers, that last time around, was a 141.6. Van der Vlist, a 145.6. Dupre, 46.5. And Adam Sterry, a 47.3. Wasn't the fastest lap of the race, though. It was a 136, 8.43 on the opening lap from Freddie Van der Vlist. So, again, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, the difference in the lap times at the end of the race compared to the start. But what a performance here from Damon Growlers. Absolutely pinning it all the way to the end. took a race win at Matterley Basin, a second one in Germany, a third in Sweden, a fourth one in Latvia. This will be his sixth race win of the season. Damon Growlers exits the final turn, and the Kimiya Yamaha Yamalube rider takes the overall here in Assen. And he does it with a double moto win, picks up 50 points and secures second in the overall championship classification. Freddie van der Vlis, he can't believe it. Second, losing it on the last lap. Distraught. But he finishes third overall. That gets him a podium finish. But here's Nick Kernberg. He'll be 16th. He's still got half a lap to go, less than half a lap. But Growlers, your race winner. Van der Vlis second, De Pre third, Lars van Berkel fourth, Adam Sterry fifth, David Herberto sixth, Alvin Osland seventh, Bas Vassen is over the line in eighth. We wait for Michele Chervelin to come over the line on his Martin Jr. Racing Team Honda, and he goes through now in ninth, and Thomas Kjær Olsen over the line in 10th. Here's Nick Kernberg, though. He's already crowned champion yesterday. Wouldn't have liked to have done it like this. Going off track at turn one. Left himself with a lot of work to do, but the record books will show Nick Kernberg as the 2015 250 EMX champion. So 11th for Max Engelen, 12th for Ander Valentin. James Dunn gets 13th on that Hitachi Revo KTM, 14th for Joel van Mechelen. Simone Zakina just behind him in 15th, and here is Nick Kernberg crossing the line in 16th place on the JTEC Honda. He'll be disappointed with that. He won't finish on a podium. But as we said, he is champion, and here's another look at how he did it. Nick Kernberg on the JTEC Honda started the year 4th overall. Got a second overall in the Netherlands at the European round, Valkenswaard. He was 4th overall in Spain, 5th overall in Great Britain, 4th in Germany, 2nd in Sweden, 4th in Lommel and in Latvia and in Belgium. But a 3rd in race 1 yesterday was enough for Nick Kernberg to clinch the 2015 European Championship in 250. But here's your winner, Growlers, from today.
Damon Growlers, that was a fantastic race. Stunning last lap, securing you second in the championship. You must be pretty pleased with yourself.
Yeah, I'm happy about my race. It was really difficult. I missed completely my start. I don't know. I didn't understand why I was so bad in the start, but yeah, in the beginning it was a little bit heavy because all the riders, all the sand with the goggles. But I know I have a good condition, and it's a long race. It's a heavy track, so every lap I came closer and closer. And yeah, I was surprised that I'm first. I thought maybe top 5 should be good. Then I'm on the podium, but yeah, 2-time one this weekend. I'm very happy.
Brilliant job. Thank you, Damon.
What a performance in race 2 from Damon Growlers. Didn't make a great start. He was going after the second place in the championship with Adam Sterry, and in the end it came out to a shootout between those two. In the final lap, he went from 4th to 1st, finding his way past Adam Sterry, Maxime De Pre. And in the end, Freddie van der Vlis to take a double moto win here at Assen. Well, those guys are happy. Great to see the support here in Assen. Here's how it finished overall. Damon Growlers, 2 wins out of 2. De Pre second overall with a second and a third. Van der Vlis third. Lars van Berkel fourth. Osland 5th. And Adam Sterry was 6th. Engelen 7th overall. Nick Kernberg 8th. But that 3rd place in race 1 yesterday, securing him the 2015 European 250 Championship title. The flags being ready at the podium. And this is how the final championship standings look in EMX250. Nick Kernberg already crowned champion yesterday on 309. Growlers up to 2nd at the expense of Adam Sterry, who dropped to 3rd. 2 points further back, Maxime De Pre. Osland rounds out the season in the top 5. Kjær Olsen climbs to 6th. Podium then here at Assen for the European round of the 250 Championship. And third overall, riding the Kawasaki, Freddie van der Vlist. He put in a good performance in both races, but in the end, just running out of steam in the closing stages when it mattered. But Freddie van der Vlist, though, will stand on the third step of the podium, his first podium appearance in 2015. Second overall for Maxime Dupre, the Bud Racing Monster Energy Kawasaki rider. But your overall winner, he'll get a good reception here. Damon Growlers, your overall winner on the Kimiya Yamaha Yamalube machine. Stunning display in moto number 2. From out of nowhere, 4th to 1st in the final lap. Martin Provokes would have been proud of that, certainly. Jos Vaassen, the former FIM president, handing the third place trophy to Freddie van der Vlist. Of course, congratulations all riders on the podium as well. Second overall, Maxime Dupre, Bud Racing Kawasaki Monster Energy rider. Aaron Bos, chairman of the board of the TT circuit here at Assen. Thanks for having us, sir. And Dr. Wolfgang Schrub, the FIM Europe president, handing the winner's trophy to Damon Growlers. And for Damon Growlers, his second overall win of 2015, adding to the one he picked up in Latvia. And Lee Van Dam, the CEO of MXGP Assen, handing the manufacturer's trophy for Yamaha to Marnik Bevoorts, the team manager there. Nick Kernberg, though, obviously crowned European champion yesterday. He will exchange that red plate for a gold plate. And it will be Eddie Hurd, the FIM Europe Motocross Commission president, who hands Nick Kernberg that gold plate to confirm that he is the European champion in European 250 class 2015. But it was Damon Growlers who stands on the top step of the podium for Belgium. Damon Growlers, Maxime Dupre and Freddie van der Vlist, the top 3 riders on the podium this weekend. Nick Kernberg, X6 stage left as well as the new European 250 champion, courtesy of that third place finish yesterday in race 1. He was unlucky to get caught in a bit of a bump and grind session at the start of the race in the second moto, but he'll be out again in a moment, because we will see the top 3 riders in this European Championship class crowned, and it will be Nick Kernberg, Damon Growlers and Adam Sterry. So while the organisers up there arrange the medals and the placement of the riders, Adam Sterry congratulates Damon Growlers as he walks past towards the third place area. Of course, Nick Kernberg will be out as well on the JTEC Honda. Here he is. In fact, if you watch our Behind the Gate program, our 26-minute magazine show this week, we have a team report on that, but also we have that live in the MX2 broadcast today. In the MXGP broadcast, I'm sorry. Quite an interesting story to tell, Nick Kernberg. But third overall, Adam Sterry, Volvo Fort Rank KTM. Second overall, Damon Growlers on the Kimiya Yamaha Yamalube, and your overall champion for 2015. Nick Kernberg, JTEC Honda. So as they move forward for the photo opportunity, here's what happened in the second EMX250 race. The gate dropped, all eyes were on Nick Kuenberg, but he tried to go too tight around the first corner as David Herberto grabbed a hole shot. Kuenberg was left stalling through turn one. Got himself going out of the barriers, but left himself with a lot of work to do. Wasn't long though before Freddie van der Vlis was up front past Herberto. And Adam Sterry right there in the mix as well. Got himself up to second with that pass on the Frenchman. Almost lost it though, seconds later. Behind them, Lars van Berkel was putting in a good ride. So too was Maxime Dupre as Nick Kuenberg continued to fight his way through. Maxime Dupre got himself up into third place with that pass on Lars van Berkel. And then Bas Bassen, he fell. Simple little mistake. The number 98 eventually coming home in 8th place. But a mistake from Adam Sterry dropped him from 2nd place. And in the background there, Alvin Osland being pushed out wide by the hard-charging Damon Growlers. Other riders suffering on the tough conditions here, but Adam Sterry in the closing stages got himself close to Maxime Dupre, but on the final lap, Growlers went past the number 107 of Lars van Berkel, got himself right onto the rear wheel of Sterry, went past him, went past Dupre, got himself into second, and then went after Freddie van der Vlis, who on the final lap, he made the pass stick and he came home to make it 2 wins out of 2 to win the overall. But that was Growlers winning the overall. But here's Nick Kuenberg, our 2015 champion.
Nick Kuenberg, congratulations. You are the EMX 250 champion, and you wrapped it up yesterday. Made a lot of mistakes today, but it really didn't matter at all. You've just been so consistent all year, and it's paid off.
Yeah, it's been a long season. You know, 12 months ago, I made a goal to get the title in 2015, and yeah, my old team, I think they didn't take me so serious, so I had to find another job. So. I came out at JTech Honda, you know, the people are awesome, they really believed and we stuck together, so we made it happen, and I can't thank those guys enough.
Huge congratulations, thank you, Nick. We have Damon Growlers, 2nd overall in the championship. That last performance there was brilliant. I think you surprised yourself, bad start, and you really had to work hard to make up that time.
Yeah, indeed, my difficult point is a bit the sand, but all year I've been working with the team and with my trainer in the sand, so today it pays off. Overall, yeah, I wanted to be the champion, but it's Nick. He was all year consistent. I think me, Adam and Maxime, we made too many mistakes, but in the end I have 2 overalls and 6 heat wins, so I think it's not bad. And I'm still happy with the 2nd place.
Great job, thank you. Overall, we have Adam Sterry, 3rd overall in the championship. Just missed out on that 2nd position. How are you feeling at the moment? Because I know you've been having some back pain, but that performance in the 2nd race was a lot better than yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I struggled so much, and today was better. I was pushing for the lead and was catching for the lead, and I went to pass for the lead over the back and hit a bump wrong, and it spat me off. Got back on, and yeah, I was in pain from them, but it's been a long season, and fair play to Nick. He had the consistency, and yeah, I made too many mistakes, a few DNS, bad luck, but it is what it is, and yeah, 3rd again, so.
3rd overall, thank you, good luck.
There were your top 3 overall in the championship. Nick Kuenberg, Damon Growlers and Adam Sterry. But overall today, 3rd was Freddie van der Vlis on his Kawasaki. Came so close to winning that 2nd race. Had it not been for the hard-charging Damon Growlers though. 2nd overall, Maxime Dupre, Bud Racing Monster Energy Kawasaki. A good end to his season, 2nd overall after not scoring in Latvia and 11th overall in Belgium. Just what the Frenchman needed. But again, he might have had more overall wins and round wins, but just not consistent when it mattered, unfortunately, for him. But the most consistent of all was the JTech Honda rider of Nick Kuenberg. But it was Damon Growlers this weekend, though, on the 171 Kamiya Yamaha Yamalude machine. A stunning performance in race 2 to secure 2 race wins and the overall. Right, that's all we've got time for. Join us in about 9 minutes' time when we return with MX2 Race 1. See you then. Bye for now.